The Joe Rogan Experience.
So bladder contains approximately 5 milliliters of cloudy yellow urine.
Mm-hmm.
The prostate is slightly and diffusely enlarged with marked enlargement of the verumontanum.
That's how I would have said it.
The testes are unremarkable. That's the last thing I want anybody to say about my nuts. I want them to say, wow, what a great pair.
Great body, but the nuts are
Unremarkable.
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 So here is some sort of discussion between him and someone.
Okay. The guy says exactly not clear what effects hormones might have on that aren't replaced by testosterone. The advantage of taking testosterone, there are two different things. You can have high testosterone and still have a need for Viagra because you don't have a prostate, right? And then Epstein says, correct.
And then at the bottom, they show another document.
Hold on. Let me keep going there.
Yeah.
So that's an extreme example. I was actually going to try and move up one level, sort of drug-enhancing life. If you don't mind it, he doesn't mind it. I'm sort of outer space thinking. Oh, so he's trying to juice up. So he's saying I'm moving up one level of sort of drug-enhancing life. I don't know what I think he means. He's going to start juicing. That's what it sounds like.
So he doesn't have a
He doesn't
prostate?
have a prostate, it
So there's
says.
another document that says something about it after a radical prostatectomy.
Prostatectomy.
So when they take out your prostate?
But that doesn't necessarily say he had his. I think it's a document.
But he
saying-
said
Yeah,
he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have
Correct.
a prostate,
Right,
and it says
Yeah.
patient Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
And it says, according to the American Urological Association, serum PSA should decrease and remain at undetectable levels after radical prostatectomy.
And there's other documents where he's
Prostatectomy.
contacting doctors that specialize in that very thing.
Okay, so the doctor saying he had a radical prostatectomy. He's saying he does not have a prostate, but yet the body from the autopsy
And so then,
talks about the prostate is slightly and diffusedly enlarged. So that's not his body? That's what it seems like.
You
You don't buy that?
I don't buy he's dead. Why would you?
Right. I don't buy his dead either.
here's the other.
But,
one.
however, hold
One.
on.
This is from a attorney. So this is like assistant United States attorney or something.
So the OCME told
The
me
request
it
of the
signed a confidentiality agreement in connection with the investigation into the murder of Jeffrey Epstein.
So
We're
that's almost 6 months after he died. They're asking for a document about the investigation of the murder of Jeffrey Epstein.
Was that because there was accusations that it was a murder?
I don't, don't
So
know.
we talked about this before, that 18 days before he allegedly committed suicide, he complained that his cellmate tried to kill him. And you know who his cellmate is?
Who?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
I'm Kurt Metzger. You don't know? Oh, you don't know? His cellmate was this gigantic cop who was a murderer. He had killed 4 different drug dealers. Yeah, he was a contract killer. This is the guy. That's his fucking cellmate. Look at that gorilla.
That's a silverback.
Yeah, dirty cop, murderer. And then they said, most high-profile witness of all time, defendant of all time. Let's put him in jail with a murderer, a guy who contract kills, dirty cop. And then he says the report was they found him unresponsive with a noose around his neck or an orange jumpsuit turned into a rope around his neck. And then he said that his cellmate tried to kill him.
My question. Does anyone really believe he was in a jail cell? Because I know if I had the guy that can unravel entire government dynasties and take down an entire system, the last thing, dude, he's somewhere about 3 miles underground with maybe a ball in his mouth with electric rods.
Or he's in Israel sipping Mai Tais.
Correct. Either place, it's like, that video you said, you sent this on a runaround. We're going to ask you one more time, or then we're going to laser off your nipples. I'm telling you right now. We need.
Yeah, I doubt they're doing that to him.
So it's he's either in Israel, like you said.
If they had that, they would just get rid of his body.
You saw the picture of the so-called that was him in Israel.
I think that's AI.
I think it's AI too. That's a scary thing with AI.
I think it even had a little AI watermark on it. The one I saw, at least. But who knows? It could be a real picture that someone put through AI to put a watermark on it so that people could go, oh, it's AI.
Right. You don't know.
Do you see the lady that they say looks exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell? I don't
Yes.
think she looks exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell. I think she looks exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell 20 years ago.
It was a deep fake.
It's a deep fake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sam Tripoli reposted the guy that made it. He made
that's
another video too that was
crazy.
not as good, where he's like looking at Benjamin Netanyahu on the street. It's not
I feel
nearly
like
as good. But.
the problem is the aging. She doesn't look aged. She looks younger.
Yeah.
But I
She
guess
looks pretty,
that's
too.
what happens when you get out of jail.
And you get more attractive.
Yeah, you get food. You
Right,
get
sure.
sunlight.
Makeup.
A little exercise.
Taking some yoga.
Yeah, is there any video of him in jail? Are there any photos of him in jail? I've never thought about that before, but what you're saying is a good point.
If let's say you were the person that had all this incredible information around the world, bribery, do you really think you take drug lords? You're not killing them. You need the information, so you're going to bring him somewhere. You're going to milk him to it, however that is. Whether he's tied up, whether you're going to torment him. Be like, listen, I'm telling you right now, we're going to take care of you. However, I need to know. You say there's tapes, right? Yeah. Where are the tapes? Write them down. And you're going to stay. Don't feed him. Don't feed him until we get that one tape and we have these names in our hands. And that's probably been going on even for months, for years. You're not taking someone like that and going, oh, we're just going to put this very valuable human being into a jail cell where
With a multiple murderer
with
who's
two
a contract
guys making
killer
$18 an hour are going to watch him.
who are sleeping
But come on, stop.
when the cameras are down.
Stop. They pre-production. All right, so let's get the green screen and we have him walking in here, sir. Does that look somewhat? And then we can release it down the road. It's processed Hollywood nonsense. I don't buy it.
Okay, this is assuming, though, that he was working on his own, that he had all this information. So if he's not working on his own, he's working for an intelligence agency, then they have that information as well. So along the way, so there are no secrets that he's holding. They have all the secrets. This is much more likely. So in order for him to be in the position that he was in, allegedly, working for intelligence agencies, working for either the Mossad, the CIA, or both, all the above, I would assume that along the way, all of the information was shared. I do not believe they would let one person have access to all that information and store it themselves. I think they would have access to it at every step of the way. They would communicate with him at every step of the way. And they would probably have, if I was running a government agency like that, I would say, tell me what's going on. What do you have on Bill Gates? What do you have on Les Wexner? What do you have on these guys?
Yeah.
What are they willing to do? What about these scientists?
Yes.
Are they willing to fill bogus science papers out? And what can we do? Jeffrey Epstein stashed secret files in storage unit across U.S. that may include never-before-seen evidence. Oh.
So this came out yesterday that when he got arrested, he supposedly paid for investigators to go round up all of his stuff and put it in various storage units across the country. Like it's a wild goose chase now. And like there's stuff that apparently maybe no one's ever seen. They don't know if they're still being paid for. They don't know if
Imagine if they
everybody's
found, you know
wanted-
those storage
I
unit
know,
shows?
exactly.
When they break into those storage unit shows?
I don't understand.
And
how
it happened
this-
on the real time one.
Right,
Like they
could you
think they're
imagine?
just getting like old baseball
I
cards.
heard those shows are bullshit. A friend of mine told me that what they do is they'll stock those shows, they'll stock those storage units, and then they pretend that they're buying the storage unit that's been abandoned, and then they get in there and then they find things. But those things were,
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
you.
I don't buy any
That's-
reality TV.
I know, but that's awful.
Well, it's entertainment.
I feel duped.
Do you really?
I do.
Joe, you really thought
That's the thing
once
that
in a while
bothers
you
me.
thought it was real?
Not the government corruption, not all the Medicaid fraud, not all the immigration fraud, not all the ICE stuff. No, what really bugs me is lying on a storage unit show. I just can't.
Or like like a cash cab show. Like, are they really contestants?
These are our
they...
great distractions. These are the great distractions to keep us from paying attention
Yes.
to what's really going on in the world.
The reality TV. There's no reality. It's all well produced. Joe, wow.
How much is it well produced? Here's the question: is it really well produced? Because it seems like this one was a really shitty production job.
That was production. That was that was like low. The only guy making it is the guy that's selling the ads.
Well, not
He's
just
crushing.
the guy who's in charge of it fucks kids, right?
Oh,
so
this
like,
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if this one, why would you let that guy who's going to eventually get caught? I would assume if you have a thing for kids, you have a thing for if you're a pedophile, if you're into like 14-year-old girls, I would assume you're going to get caught. And if I had a guy like that, or was this at a time where you couldn't get caught because there was no internet, and then it got to a point where he had so much power and control because he'd been there for so long, they were like, oh, Jesus Christ, we got a problem.
Well, he's thinking that the criminals, they never think they're getting caught, period. Especially, like, think organized crime. If you're, it's no different like the scenes from Goodfellas, right? You come in, it's like, what's the matter with you? I told you, what? You show up with a pink Cadillac? What's the matter with you?
Right.
What's the matter with you? They can't help it. He told everyone, don't
Spend the money.
Don't look flashy. This guy, without a doubt.
His wife had a mink coat on, remember that?
What that shit? Right. Take it off. Take it off. He gave it to me for my birthday. Take it off. What's the matter with you? And now that guy, this guy, he's just you remember when the steroids came out in baseball?
Uh-huh.
And what they do, they were like, listen, you got to take a hit. You got to take a hit. Mark, Barry Bonds, you guys are going to go out. We're going to front you. But don't worry, you're going to stay in baseball. We'll it'll go away in about 10 years. But the owners are not going to get popped. The people making the steroids, injecting the people aren't going to get popped.
Well, they got popped. Balco got popped.
No,
they got
the
popped.
little
He went
guys
to
get
jail.
popped.
No.
The little ones.
No. The head of Balco went to jail. I had him on the podcast after he got out of jail.
What about the owners that knew it was going? What about the agents and lawyers that are supplying their stuff?
No. Listen, you don't understand about the baseball thing.
That's why I say someone like this guy with a long network, there's so many tentacles all over the place, but you always need the fall guy.
Right.
I mean, was he the demon? Yeah, but there's a lot of demons there.
Did you see the email that I sent you, Jamie, where he's talking about children for sex? Do you remember, the email I sent you, Jamie? I sent it the other day. I'm like, well, that pretty much sums it up then, because he actually said it.
Oh, yeah.
Find that. I sent it to you in a text message. Okay. This one's crazy.
I've heard
so
some bad
he's
ones.
having a conversation with a woman who says that she heard that there's a place. Here it is. She's very emotional, kind, loving, sharp. I think you could become friends too. So here it says, a friend, Eliza, told me about a project she's doing researching a really bad guy that gets children for sex sent to his island. She almost fainted when I told her that person is me.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Okay, so that's just there. There's no way to interpret that any other way. That person is me.
That person is me. I'm
Children for sex sent to his island. That person is me. Holy shit. That one is fucking crazy. That's 2018.
So yeah, this has been going on for
So this is like right before he got arrested, right?
supposedly
But when did he get arrested?
2019.
2019, right?
What month?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was May, maybe.
So this was like,
June?
but there was an investigative reporter that was at the head of all this. This lady that was really pushing because she had found out about his sweetheart deal in 2008, and she started gathering information and pushing it. And that's what led ultimately, I think, to his being arrested.
Or what I would say is the front of like, hey, we're doing things.
Well, if there's a different body that the autopsy had, it makes you question, like, was he ever in that cell? Or was this person who's in that cell, did they sell this person as Jeffrey Epstein?
Right.
Well, you imagine the guy in the cell going, I am not.
No, I'm not. No.
My name is Harvey. I live on the Upper East Side. I don't know what happened. I got a speeding ticket. And now, next thing you know, I can't go home.
Yes, and this poor guy's just getting railed hard before they're sitting there, and he's tying him up on the thing, and he's just, he's going to spin him around for a couple hours.